I like we got new lead-in music, Juice. Do you know it?
Oh, we do?
Yes. It's got some electric guitar.
Pee Wee Herman tequila?
Pee Wee Herman. Where'd you come up with Pee Wee Herman?
I have all these random thoughts that go through my mind.
It's some guitar riff. It's pretty good, though.
I'll have to listen to
special. But you go back and listen to these?
I've listened to a few of them, yeah.
I'm
usually working, so I don't have time to listen to a lot of stuff.
Really? I don't do anything, so I just kind of sit around and edit videos. And
my boss has me working sun up to sundown and everywhere in between.
I sit around and edit videos and look out the window longingly like this.
Like
no,
that?
I'm just kidding. But today, hey, we're going to get into what makes a good PI. Juice isn't one of them. I'm not either. I'm not a good PI. We just do good podcasts. No,
I'm
seriously.
faking it till I make it.
Juice is a good PI. But first, we're going to get into problems I've had with PIs while they got fired, some things like that. First topic, though, lying on reports. You ever seen that before?
Oh, yes.
You're a cop for quite a few years.
Yep.
Did you ever see a cop try to lie on a report or falsify evidence or any of those things?
Oh, absolutely. Mm-hmm. I know one in particular lied through his teeth.
Lied through his teeth?
Oh, yeah.
What did he lie about?
Domestic violence case. It was here local.
Oh, I think you told me that story once.
Yeah.
Did he lie or just not report anything?
No, he lied. He out and out lied.
Okay.
Yes. Small town politics, though.
Yeah, I remember that whole story.
Yeah.
But you got screwed on that deal, Juice.
Yeah, yes, I did.
I know I know the politics. I know the politician. You know, my dad ran for, when that was going on, for the commission.
Yeah, I remember that. Seat 1, I think.
City council.
Yeah.
If he'd have been on there, that would have never happened.
Yeah.
He'd have shut it down. So
yeah, your
dad
was
been
a good guy.
He'd have been like, this is stupid. We're not doing it.
Yeah, your dad was a good guy.
None of the other city council jumped in and said, hey, this is wrong.
One did.
Okay.
One did, but the rest of them jumped on board with the mayor.
No. Now, mind you, this is a town of about 300 people, y'all.
Yeah.
It's tiny. That's where I grew up.
Yeah.
But great little town, though, if you grow up. Great place to grow up, good school, those things. But anyways, we got the window open now, Juice.
I see that. It really sets off the color in your eyes.
Does it?
Yes.
In the mornings, the sun is just beaming through that, so we close it when we record early in the morning. We're recording a little later in the day today, though, so we can have the window open. It makes your skin tone look great.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, I was hoping for that.
Yep. But anyways, lying on reports, I've had investigators do it.
Yes.
The big one in private investigations, they're too lazy to actually go do surveillance, so they make up a story like they did it. But there's no photos, no videos, no nothing.
Why?
I make them show me their work. You got to take a picture. Even if nothing's happening, you take a timestamp photo to show you were there.
Yep.
And it keeps the client, hey, they're carrying out their due diligence, trying, but we didn't find nothing today. Right?
Yeah. I just did that the other day. I took a picture of a street sign when I was there.
Yeah, if nothing's
just to
happening,
show you I was there.
If you're into, if you ever done workers' comp, you ever done any of that?
Well, there was a while we did some. Yeah.
A lot of we don't do them here, but a lot of the insurance companies will make. I had a blackout there. Did you see that?
I see that.
A lot of my daughter drove by and I was like, "What's she doing back so early?" But a lot of the insurance company make you do what they call a sign-on photo and a sign-off photo.
Yep.
If you don't have it, you're not getting paid for it.
Exactly.
So, I don't blame them. I kind of do the same thing here. Hey, you got to show me you were there. And then we get in the big one that aggravates me. They're never available to work.
Yeah, that gets aggravating.
All right. So everybody's like, I want to be a PI. I want the name. I want the badge. I want the card. I want to put it on my Facebook page. I want to put it on my Instagram and my LinkedIn.
Until it's time to do PI stuff.
Until it's time to do PI stuff, but they're never available. We got a pretty good bunch now working for us. They're, I like the system we have where they can go in and log in and put their availability time. We can assign them, but it's on them. Put some of the onus on them, right?
Right.
But I had them in the past where they were never available to do anything, but they wanted to keep putting on their resume that they were a PI for me. I'm like, look, man, if you're not going to do PI work, then you're not a PI. If you're not a practitioner, it's like a doctor or a nurse practitioner that went to school, but they don't want to be a doctor.
But they're really just practicing, aren't they?
They don't want to be a doctor. They don't want to do the doctoring stuff, right?
Right.
It bothers me. Here's another one. We have some issues now, currently. They don't turn their reports in on time. That makes me, I'm trying not to cuss anymore, Juice. It makes me cuss.
Yeah, I cuss all the time. I don't care.
I know you do. You got a foul mouth. But
I do.
They'll go out and they'll do great things and they'll find great evidence. But I absolutely cannot get them to submit a report on time to save their life.
So I like to get my stuff in within a 24-hour period.
Right. Yeah, that's the rule, the company rule.
It's easier that way.
Yeah. We got some of them to do it. Like, say they do surveillance at 1 a.m. They'll come in before they go to sleep. They'll do the report. Love
Yes.
them. Love them. They're like, hey, I got it fresh in my mind. Let's get it in. And then I'm going to go to sleep and check out for 12 hours or whatever.
Right.
And then we got some that'll go out and they'll find some of the greatest evidence you've ever seen.
Yeah, but you won't know for the longest time.
And you got to pretty much fight them to get it out of them. So.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Another one that gets me, impossible to get a response from them. Like you ask them a question through text message or email, and 3 or 4 days goes by and they don't respond to you. What do you think of that?
That is aggravating. That makes me want to choke people.
A lot of it's legit stuff we're asking too. Like, hey, we need this information to make a decision going forward.
Right, right.
And you cannot get a response. And then you get them on the phone finally, like, oh, I don't know, I'm just hanging out. You expect them to say they had smallpox or something, but they don't.
Well, yeah.
But don't follow state guidelines. What do you think of that, Juice?
Well, if you can't follow one rule, why follow any, really?
Right.
It's aggravating. Just follow what you're supposed to. Just do what you're supposed to do.
Right. The big one in ours is the vehicle tracker rule. If you don't own it, you can't track it.
Correct.
I've had investigators where it was a child custody case, and they turned in a report where it said installed a tracker on the subject's car. Right in the report, they said it. And I immediately pick up the phone and say, hey, man, you can't track that car. Well, they don't need to know that.
Yeah, but it's in the report.
He said, won't you just delete it out of the report? So if you get evidence illegal by using illegal means, can we use that evidence?
No.
It's called fruit of the poisonous tree, right?
Correct.
Yeah, we can't use it. So it's hard to get that through people's heads sometimes. And we've done that. And also violate people's privacy. I've had them walk up in their yard and grab garbage. That's trespassing. And you can also be theft too.
Correct.
Because you actually took something. I don't care if it's a piece of paper. If you walk trespass and took it, it can be trespassing with theft.
Absolutely.
And those are big charges. Right?
Absolutely.
And I've actually had them where they took the garbage out of the can from the person's driveway, not out on the street, and I made them go put it back in. The next day,
that's awesome.
I made them go put it back. I said,
That's
you're an
awesome.
idiot.
You can't use any of it.
What gets me is a study guide we used for this licensing in Alabama has this stuff spelled out.
Oh, it's explicitly spelled out in there.
I mean, it's in like crayon eater language too. I know the guy that wrote it, he wrote it where anybody can understand it.
Right, right.
And if I can understand it, the C student Marine, then guess what? Anybody can understand it.
Absolutely.
If you graduated high school or got your good enough diploma,
right,
your GED,
right,
you should be able to understand this guidebook. And I think some people just got lucky on the test.
Some people have. It happens.
Hey, we got a test coming up, Juice. Did you apply? Did you put your stuff in yet?
I still got to talk to you about that.
You're not going to do it?
Absolutely, I'm going to do it.
All right. I got to take the business owner test. Did you see that?
Yeah, I know. That's awesome, isn't it?
Anyway, I'm sure it's got some great business knowledge in there.
I'm sure it does.
Anyways, all right. Don't follow company guidelines. So I have some company guidelines. I have some how-to guides on a Juice.
Yes.
Pretty good, like where I just record myself doing things. Now, this is how we do it. Is it pretty spelled out, like pretty explicit?
Yeah, you can follow it along very easily.
And then the people, they say that it's not going to do it. They're going to do their own rules. I get a lot of contractors who maybe own their own business, but when you're contracting for me, guess who you work for?
Yeah,
for me.
Work for Mackie.
And I've got those things in there, not just because I want to be a prick. It's because I've got a lot of experience and done it wrong before.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? how you learn?
Yeah, I've done it wrong before and had to go redo it. And I'm like, hey, here's how we skip all this redoing and getting in trouble. And here's how you do it. And some people refuse to do it, and they don't last long either.
I call those cliff notes.
Cliff notes.
Yeah,
cliff notes.
So it's easier to learn it in your employee handbook than it is to try and go and read all the stuff or get the experience and then figure it out.
Yeah, that's how I did it.
You just read the cliff notes.
That's how I did it. I figured it out by trial and error.
Yeah,
and here we are.
Those cliff notes, and that way there's no questions.
Right. And then we got the big one, refuse to learn basic computing and word processing skills.
Ooh, that's me.
No. You can write a report. You know how to log in
Yeah.
and write your report.
Yeah, yeah.
It's pretty simple, right? I'm talking about people that, hey, I don't know, like I hired them, and maybe I jumped the gun and didn't get an sample report from them. But I hired a guy, and he did not know how to use Microsoft Word, and he would hand jam his notes and send them to me and ask me to type them up.
Okay, I even know how to use that, and I'm a relic.
You are a relic. Look
I
at you.
am, but I know how to use that.
You should be dead soon, right?
Yeah, within the next like 20 years.
What?
Yeah,
I was thinking like this week or something.
it could happen.
You pickled yourself early in an early age, so you're going to last longer.
Yeah, I did.
But yeah, he would turn his notes into me and say, "Hey, you type them up," and I'm like, "No, nuh-uh." Then, at the time, I had an administrative assistant, so he tried to get her to type them up. I said, "She's my administrative
That's
assistant.
a no.
Not yours. She's mine." So
it's not that hard.
right.
I mean, really, I hunt and peck at my typing. I can do it.
It's 2025, and we do technical stuff. I'm a pretty technical company. We have some systems that are technical. You got to log in.
Right.
You got to hit buttons and type things. Ooh.
Oh. That may be too taxing for some people.
Upload a photo or two.
Whoa.
What gets me is people don't know how to do that kind of stuff, but they can operate a smartphone like it's nobody's business.
Yeah.
Which is way more technical than a laptop. So.
Yeah, they used a computer that had less capability than a smartphone to launch the rockets.
Right.
I mean,
they're the first ones.
Yeah.
But I mean, those are some of the things. I guess those are pet peeves of mine. But
I get it.
But also some other problems I've had. We had court, and I met a guy there, and I was dressed in a suit and tie, and he had on swim trunks and a tank top and slides
for court.
Yeah, he said he just left the pool with his kids, so he just drove on over.
Okay, and
that's how he showed up, and he had to testify like that. It was a little embarrassing.
Very embarrassing.
I mean, he can't leave, right? He had a subpoena to be there, and the lawyer pulled me off to the side. He goes, "What is this?" And I said, "Well, it's the last time he's working for me.
Yeah,
get his testimony. He's out of here."
Yeah,
and we didn't leave the building, but I said, "You're fired," But
yeah, that's crazy.
And he wanted to pitch a little fit.
It wasn't like it was last minute, and you called him on the phone, said, "Hey, I need you over here." He knew to prepare for that.
At least 20 days before.
At least
that's like a last minute 20 days.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
So he could have scheduled things properly and showed up in the correct attire.
He's at the pool with his kid, though. Juice, come on.
Whatever. Well, now he can stay at the pool with his kid.
Right, he can. That's one we talked about in a previous episode that wanted to make get the former clients to write bad reviews for me.
Oh, that guy.
That's that guy.
Yeah.
There was a lot of issues there, but hey, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back and talk about the qualities of a good PI. You ready for that one?
I am.
All right, let's take a break. We got to sell stuff. Hey everybody, Mackie here. I just want to get into what we actually do here at Mackie Outlaw Private Investigators. So we conduct domestic investigations, which include your adultery and custody cases. You may have a cheating spouse that you're wanting to find out, or you may have shared custody and you're wanting to find out what the other parents are doing, maybe prove that they're not good parents for a custody modification. Also, what we do is criminal defense investigations. That's where people get in trouble and they need help proving their innocence. It could be either pre-conviction or post-conviction. So if you know people in those situations, just give us a ring. Also, we work missing person cases. That's where we track down people that are missing. It can be children, teenagers, all the way to senior adults. So if you have a case like that, how we work those cases is we use surveillance. We locate and find witnesses and interview them. Also conduct digital forensics where we extract deleted data and locate those digital artifacts to help your case. If you need those types of investigations done, you can always click the link and contact us. You can call us directly at 866-910-7499. That's 866-910-7499. Or visit us on the web at MackieOutlaw.com. Thank y'all. All right, y'all, we're back for the second part of this thing. So the first part, we talked about problems we've had with previous PIs or qualities of a bad PI, Juice.
Oh.
What's your favorite one of those, the qualities of a bad PI?
Liars.
Liars, that's your favorite?
That's my favorite one.
Mine is the don't turn in the reports. It drives me bonkers. Yeah. But I don't know. I don't like liars either.
Yeah,
don't get me wrong.
Stand liars.
Let's talk about the qualities of a good PI. All right, what do you think some qualities are of a good one? It's not just PI, it's employee in general, right?
So, right. You have to be ruggedly handsome and good looking like we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to be cool.
That's right. Dependable, reliable, trustworthy.
It's like the recon rules. So never get lost.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do get lost, always look cool.
Oh, above and beyond. Yeah, always look cool.
But yeah, dependable. I put the first one on there, willingness to learn.
Yeah,
so
that's a good one.
We get guys that's maybe had their own company and they come here and they say they want a contract with us, and they don't want to learn anything new.
Okay, well then you need to go because you're going to be stagnant.
You're going to be stagnant. You're going to be limited in what we can assign to you.
Yeah,
it's going to be a problem. What about when you screw up? Admit it real quickly.
Oh, and when I screw up, you'll know it because I'll call you and go, "Hey, man, I screwed up."
Yeah, I don't like it when they screw up and when I was a kid and you screwed up, you tried to beat the news home to dad.
Yeah, which never worked.
Yeah, you tried, which got me because my dad, he always knew what we did, and they didn't have Facebook. I didn't have text message.
No, but you knew he found out because when you walked in the door, you had that look.
I'd get a paddling at school or whatever,
mm-hmm.
and he'd know before I got home. I'm like, how did you know?
Yeah, I think the teachers, the principals at my school had a hotline, like a bat phone.
To your dad's work?
Hey, Mr. Majuziak, I think I'm going to paddle your kid.
Yeah, well, we got paddled all the time.
I did.
They didn't have to ask permission. Now they got to get permission and all that. Or some places don't even do it, I don't think. Right.
I got it twice.
I'd get tore up, man.
Yeah.
You know,
at the school and then when I got home.
You know, it was worse when we had coaches that were teachers too, the big men.
Oh, yeah.
They'd light that hind end up, son. The women would kind of be like, it was cute. But the men, though, they'd put marks on that behind. So,
well, times have changed.
Yeah. Now they put you in timeout or go to A school and all that.
Whatever.
Stuff that don't work. But look how we turned out, Juice. We're perfect humans.
I wouldn't go as far as perfect, but we're not bad people. We turned out pretty good.
You know what right and wrong is, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, willingness to learn. When you screw up, admit it real quickly. Well, I've had PIs before that they'd screw up and then I wouldn't find out till a month later.
Yeah, see, that's not good. I would rather call you and say, hey, Mac, I screwed up. What do you want me to do?
And we're having to give money back, too, when they screw up.
Yeah. I don't want you to find it later because then it's just going to make you mad and then we're not going to have a good
Client's mad. The client gets real mad. So another good thing is for PIs to check their email at least twice a day.
At least.
That's how assignments come through in our company.
Or say every time the phone pings.
Well, that's you, Juice. You're just extra. But hey, set a time. At 9 o'clock, I'm going to check my email, and then at 3 o'clock, I'm going to check it.
Yeah.
That way you don't miss anything. How about stepping out and learning new technology?
That's a plus.
So you're probably the most untechnical person in the company.
Correct.
But I put you through digital forensics training.
Yes.
And open source training.
Yeah, you got me through a few of them. Yeah.
Yeah. And so you're willing to learn, try new things.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You're more technically savvy than you put on because you got machinist background and all that. So
yeah, well, yeah,
but
I do.
What about close your mouth and listen?
There's a lot of people can't do that.
So we did a little class where I came and did that thing. Hey, this is what my vision is for the year and all that.
Oh, that was the
you came for that
State of the Union address that you gave.
State of the Company address.
Yes,
did you like that? Had on my fancy clothes that day too.
You did. You looked dapper.
But did you notice there were some people who couldn't shut up?
Yes.
One of them's not here anymore.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
All right. But some people they think they know everything. The person that got fired is about 23 years old.
Oh yeah.
She could not close her mouth. And to the point where I'm like, hey, be quiet, let me get finished kind of thing. So, yeah, close your mouth and listen. That's what my dad always said. You got two ears for a reason and one mouth. So
he was a great sage.
Yeah, he was a sage. Close your mouth, be willing to listen. And that's just not to me or Juice when we're trying to teach you something, but also the client, too. You got to listen to what they're saying. These clients we get are very emotional, and they're saying a lot of things that about 90% of what they say is not relevant. But you're going to pick out a couple little gems in there that could help us with a case pretty good.
Correct.
So you got to be able to listen. What about seeking your own training? How about not rely on me for all your training? One thing I love, Juice, is when we get investigators. I'm a state certified trainer, so anything I do counts as CEUs. Any kind of training we do, we can make a certificate, keep the curriculum, and turn it in as a CEU. Is when we get investigators saying, hey, my license expires tomorrow. I need some CEUs today.
Yeah, no.
I let it expire. But anyway.
No. But in any profession, you should always try and strive to learn more.
Things change, right?
Regardless of what it is.
Yeah, there's so many improvements nowadays, so fast with technology. Information flows so fast that you got to read and stay up on it, take classes.
Right.
And don't come to me last minute saying, hey, I need CUs.
Well, they shouldn't be relying on you to do it anyway.
Especially as a contractor.
Right.
Now, if you're an employee, yes, I pay for your stuff and get you training. But it's plus, if we sat down and I cranked out 8 hours of CUs that day, you think you're going to retain any of it? No. We're just checking a box, and I don't like checking the box.
No. I even sit there last night. I was sitting there going over my phone for some extra classes.
Yeah.
Just to get a little more up to date on my digital forensics and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I look for other classes. It's never ending.
Right.
You can't quit.
Right. What about have your own equipment?
That helps.
Right. What if you're a contractor, though?
Right.
Should you be relying on me to provide all your stuff?
No. I don't think anybody should rely on the company to get all their stuff because you're going to need it for yourself.
Yeah. No, if you're an employee of mine, I'm going to provide more than I would a contractor. But a contractor comes to me and says, hey, I'm ready to work. It's like a framer, house framer. They come to you.
Without a tool belt.
Without a tool belt. And I'm like, what kind of framer is this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You really done a lot of framing, huh?
Yeah. So. Yeah, I do, but I don't have tools.
Right. So what are your thoughts so far, Juice, on all this?
Good points. But everything evolves.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't stay up on it, if you don't seek out your own, you can't rely on just you to do everything.
Right. I got a lot. My day's pretty packed. And
yeah, I'd say you're pretty busy.
I can't think of everything. And so sometimes you got to seek out your own training and get yourself better. It not only helps you here, but if you decide not to do this, you might could take some of this with you to another employer, it's a good habits to be in. So any other thoughts before we sign off here?
I don't think so.
All right. That's it for this episode. We'll be back with more. The next one we get into next week is going to be a death row case.
Ooh.
What do you think of that?
Dum.
All right. We'll be back soon. Bye. Say bye, Juice.
Bye, Juice.